So you guys know this, right? The square root of x plus 3 is equal to, I don't know, 5, right? And that's really easy. You just, this is all by itself. The radical is all by itself. And so the way to get rid of the square root sign is to just square it. The square and the square root cancel each other out. You've got to square both sides. So we got x plus 3 is equal to 25. So that's straightforward. This, I want you to see the difference though. Sometimes you'll get something like this. So that was 1. We get something like this. The square root of x plus 3 minus 4 equals 5. Now, what a lot of people want to do is they do this because they don't want to think, aha. Would somebody like to try to open that?
Yeah.
Coming.
You'll never get out.
I think you have to turn that little knob to quit.
You're free.
Are you done?
No, I need a
Oh, okay. Does anybody else need a calculator?
calculators?
Yes. Do you want one?
No, you only get salt juice.
Yeah, Gary. Also, I found this on the floor. I don't know. It's like all pearl thing. I feel like it's from what's that game? I forgot what it's called. Does anyone know what that's from? No. Okay.
I don't know. Mancala?
Yeah, there we go.
Are you thinking?
You guys have never heard of that, so.
No, I have.
Oh.
I have.
Gary, the answer would be x equals 38. So you'd have to square the minus 4 too.
Okay, we'll see. Henry?
Sorry, I can't see them.
Okay. So, oh wait, I started this, that's the very horrible video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so why did that happen? Oh, because of them. Okay, so we'll start over. So basically we know that. Now notice the difference between this one and this one. What's the difference?
Minus 4.
There's a minus 4 there. And so what a lot of people like to do without thinking is they like to say, oh, well if I just square this and square this, then I have x plus 3 minus 4 is equal to 25.
We just
Square
add
of 4.
Whoa, but what is that? What's the problem with that?
Well, you're not.
What's the golden rule of algebra say?
Whatever you do on one side.
Must do one.
Well, did you square this side?
Yeah, so then
No, you only
half
squared
of it.
part of this
Yeah.
side.
Should you
And
add?
no, you can't, and you can't square 4 like this. Because think about it, what you have to do is square the entire side. Well, that would be a nightmare. That would be, remember FOIL?
Oh yeah.
You would have to FOIL, you'd have to, if you were going to square this side the way it is, you would talk about making math hard. That is not a good idea, right? Then you'd have to FOIL this out. The square root of square root of x plus 3 times the square root of x plus 3, and then, negative 4 times the square root of x plus 3, and then negative 4 squared. It would be a huge, it would be about this
Wait, no,
long.
but wouldn't that just be x plus 3?
No, if I FOILed this out, that's, well, we'll just do it so you guys see what I mean. If I FOILed this out, x plus 3 minus 4 times x plus 3, square root of x plus 3 minus 4, I would have to do first, right? Some of you guys may not know this, but don't worry about it. But the first square root of x plus 3 times the square root of x plus c is x plus 3. That's good. But then outside, that's negative 4 square root of x plus 3, right? And then inside, negative 4 square root of x plus 3. And then outside, plus 16. Okay, all equals 5 squared. Now tell me if you feel like solving that. Does anybody feel like solving that? It looks like a nightmare, right? So if you do not, so everybody look up here for a second. If you do not remove that negative 4, you chose to do this, right? You see what I'm saying? I would not do that. You'd have to pay me. If you paid me, I would. How much are you going to pay me?
$5 probably.
All right, so
Wait, Gary.
you don't want to do this.
Why do you have to do all that? Couldn't you just square the square root and
that won't do, no, do you see that mess that I just had? Right?
No, I'm saying, couldn't you just do like, square,
Square this and then square this?
yeah, couldn't you just have?
Because this is a binomial, and when you square a binomial, you have to use FOIL. And you can't, it's not the same thing to just square this and then square this. You have to square the whole thing at once.
Well, could you simplify more, can you do like?
So
plus
yeah,
four?
so exactly, keep it simple. Like in one move, you'll have it simple like this. What's the one move? Add 4. That's all you had to do. You just add 4, right? And then suddenly you have the easiest thing on the planet. You got the square root of x plus 3 is equal to 1. So I square now both sides. This is isolated, right?
No, it would be 9.
Sorry, 9. Sorry, I did a plus 4, right? In my brain I did a minus 4, sorry. And so I'm squaring both sides, right? So suddenly I have x plus 3 is equal to 81. Subtract 3, x is equal to 78, I think. 9, 10.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
X is equal to 78. Oh, that was easy. Right? Right?
What? Minus 3?
Wait, what are we? Oh.
It's a number somewhere. It's some number in the, it's a real number, wherever it is. Right? So, does that make sense? So just when you see these, you have to have this to be isolated. This square root sign has to be isolated, meaning there cannot be anything else between it and an equal sign. Right? Make sense? And what if I had something like this? There's a third one. The square root of, let me think here. Let's say, hang on. Let's say I had 4 square root of x plus 4, x plus 5 is equal to 16.
Would you divide by 4?
Exactly, right? If you could, if you squared this though, like if you chose to square it, you'd have to also square the 4. So it'd be 16 times x plus 5 in parentheses. That would be hard. That'd be harder. This is so easy. Just do it now while it's easy. You've just got x plus 5 now is equal to 4. So easy, right? Keep it simple. You're done? Okay, great.
No, wait. Gary, if you
Yeah.
divided the 4s and divided that into the 16, then the 16 would equal 4, but then you still have the square root sign. So then it would turn into 16 again,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
If you did what?
So if
What are you
you have
talking about?
16, right? So if you have 4, right, and you divided 16 by 4, because that's what you have to do, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Then that would be 4. So then that would be square root of x plus 5 equals 4. And then you would have to still square the 4 again. So
Right.
then it would just end
Right.
up being x plus 5 equals 16.
Right. So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought, yeah.
So, just get out your notes. I'm about to give you a worksheet to do.
Wait, Molly, you can look at my notes.
So,
See what
this
we
would be
missed.
All right.
You can copy my notes.
Okay. Okay.
Gary, are we gonna turn in our homework?
And then, does that make sense? You guys see this? Does it make sense? So whenever there's anything other than the square root sign on the side, you want to move it first, right? Divide by 4, divide by 4. Subtract, add 4, whatever, right? So that's last one. Write this down. Everybody write this down. Violet, what's going on? What? Okay, so what if I had this? The square root of 2x minus 7 is, minus the square root of 5x plus 2 is equal to 0.
Oh, that's easy. You would just
Yeah.
square both of the square roots, and then you would just like do it as a regular problem.
Oh, that's a great idea. So this is what Adam just said to do. This is what he said, just so you know. This is really what he meant to, what he actually meant. He's squaring this whole side. He wants to do FOIL, and then he's going to square this side. So we're going to do first outside, inside last, right? Wait, you can't just do that.
Wait, I was just saying, why don't we just square both of the square roots?
You can't, because remember, you can't square this and then square this. That way you'd have to square the whole thing at once, which means you'd be a binomial, which means it's FOIL. Does that make sense? You all see that? So, and for those of you who don't know what FOIL is, you will. Very soon.
Oh, can we
Oh, shoot. God, what was it again?
It was 2x
It was
minus
2x
7.
minus
Oh,
7.
wait, the square root, yeah. Minus the square root of 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. So,
Alright, so-
wait, can I
Yes,
guess this?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, you add 5x, the square root of 5x minus 2 to the other side?
Ah!
Okay.
Then you would have just one square root sign on each side, right? That's it. Does that make sense, Adam?
But then would that be, then you would add,
5x minus
5x.
2, add the square root of 5x minus 2,
Oh,
and so we have the square root of 2x minus 7 is equal to the square root of 5x minus 2. And then now we can square both sides, right? And that gets rid of our square roots. So all we have is 2x minus 7 is equal to 5x minus 2, and you know how to solve from there, right? You right? You guys see the method? Okay. So that's it. So I'm going to give you your homework right now.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait. And I'm going to just turn this off.